Now that we've gone through some basic design concepts, it's time to put them into practice. For this, you can use Google Slides or PowerPoint, and I hope that you'll follow along. So let's get into this practical side. And here we're starting off with Google Slides. And Google Slides is a free alternative to PowerPoint made by Microsoft. The only thing you need for Google Slides is a Gmail account, and that email address is just used to store this slide deck. It goes to your Google Drive, basically. On the right side here, you will see that there's a Help Me Visualize. This is Google's AI feature or tool that creates images based on the prompt that you give it. But we will go more into detail on AI and AI productivity in another Me Squared course. This one is just going to be focused on you creating presentations. Instead of doing everything in slides, I'm going to actually do most of this demo in PowerPoint, because the basic skills that you need for creating presentations are actually transferable to any of the presentation software. So if you want to use Canva or if you want to use OpenOffice, the same type of skills are going to be useful. Right, so now that we're in PowerPoint, you can see that it is a little bit more complicated than Google Slides. If this is the first time that you're using PowerPoint, don't worry, we're going to go through step by step and I will explain each tab that's relevant for the basic skills. So let's start off here in the Home tab. So up at the top, this section is called a ribbon, and each of these individual sections are called tabs. Now, in the Home tab, we're going to find our common tools. So copy and paste, creating new slides, formatting your text, and formatting the paragraphing as well. If we go into Insert, you'll notice that there's also a new slide here, just like in Home, because Home has your common tools. But Insert actually has all of the options of inserting some kind of element into the slide deck. So this can be slides, this could be tables, pictures, shapes, smart art, and even mathematical equations. So this is going to be one of the tabs that we are going to focus on. Draw, we're going to skip. Okay, so this is the Design tab. And just like in Google Slide, they're both called Theme. Here you can assign a theme. For example, these are the pre-built themes that come in PowerPoint. But there's actually another feature of PowerPoint that is a little bit more powerful. So if you go all the way to the right-hand side, you'll see this thing called Designer. If you're using 365, Designer is an AI-powered tool. It's not going to be as powerful as, for example, Copilot, which is coming out probably soon after this video is released. But at the time of recording, Microsoft Copilot is still in beta. But let's look at Designer and we'll see just how powerful it is. So as you can see, there's a couple of design suggestions already. But what happens if we give it a bit more of a suggestion? So I'm going to put in birds. And that's going to be the suggestion I'm going with. So let's have a look. As you can see, it's come up with some new possibilities. I like this one. It's quite cute. It's given me an animation there as well. As you can see, there's already two different types of fonts. As I said, in terms of consistency, 2 fonts is perfectly fine as long as those are the only 2 fonts that are in the slide deck. Right, another thing here is slide size. We don't really use the standard 4:3 anymore. This was the old kind of squarish TVs. We are mostly going to be seeing widescreen 16:9. I would say maybe in the near future we'll be seeing 16:10, but for now 16:9 is the standard. Right, in this tab as well, in the Design tab, we can also change the background. Now, in order for us to change the background on this one, I think we're going to have to add a new slide. So I'm going to come back to that. Let's continue. Transitions. I don't think transitions are completely necessary. That is a personal opinion. I think that they can sometimes be distracting. If you are going to use transitions, please use them sparingly. The Animations tab includes an animation pane. So if we open this up here, it's going to allow us to fine-tune any movements that we create Animations can be added to texts, shapes, images, videos, anything, any element that is on your PowerPoint. So you can add these appear and disappear and fly in animations. But for now, I don't think animations are going to be a focus because right now it's purely the basics and animations are not exactly necessary. I will show you one animation that I think is useful for presenting, but the others I don't feel are going to be necessary for the basics. Then we go to slideshow. Slideshow is the control center of your presentation. So here we can start the presentation. We can start the presentation from this slide. At the bottom right hand, it's actually the same icon as up here, but slightly smaller. And that's also going to present your slideshow. There's also going to be rehearsing. This is very useful if you want to practice your timing. Remember, if you don't have enough time at the end for questions, insert in some types of presentations that can make you and the organizers quite nervous, getting close to the end. So it's good to rehearse your timings if you are in a timed situation. You can also set which monitor it's going to be coming through. So again, this is going to be if you're going to a place where maybe you're setting up your laptop, but it's going into a projector. Just make sure that all of these settings are also correct. Record is going to, as it says, it's going to record kind of a movie of you going through the slides. We're not going to go through that in this lesson. Review, I think that review is quite important, especially the check accessibility. Accessibility is an important tool if this slide deck is going to be given to people that possibly could be using a screen reader, because you need to figure out the alt text and the reading order so that they do not get confused. That can be set up here. So we see those alt text, reading order, and other options. Also on the review tab, we have the spelling. So you can check your spelling before you head out. Right, so then we go to view. This is actually quite an important tab.